got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
He's as good as I've ever seen him, both mentally and on the field. He's out there competing each and every day. He looks fully healthy. That personality is back. He looks in great shape. I think the play says the same.
I totally agree with Matt. I feel great. Had a great offseason with the people I worked out with back down home at a doubt. And this is one of the best I done felt since coming out. I ain't finna hold my head on nothing, but just live with it. Like, I'm gonna tell everybody, just go out there and have fun. Like, at the end of the day, you blessed to be here. So, man, bump it. Like, let's go out here and just ball.
As OTAs roll on, you can't help but feel that a rejuvenated Eric Stokes, feeling as good as his rookie year, could pay big dividends for the Packers.
Eric Stokes on the interception.
While Stokes is looking to recapture the magic that made him a first-round pick, this year's first-rounder is looking to make his mark as we approach next week's minicamp.
It's gone really good. I mean, the learning process, it's a lot of stuff they throw at you at the start, but I mean, it's expected. They want to see what you can hold, you can grasp mentally, and get on the field and see if you can perform it. He has good feet. He moves really well. So yeah, I think he's going to be a really good player in the league, and obviously he has that versatility.
There's nothing he can't do for him. It's just about putting it all together mentally. There's been a lot put on his plate, and at times his head is spinning, but I think you just got to keep chopping and grinding and working through it, and there's going to be mistakes. And I think a big part of this is just being resilient throughout that process, because certainly he has all the skills to be as good as he wants to be.
Every day you strive to be the best. You strive to be your best, and you compete with yourself first before you compete with everybody else, and that's the one thing I want to do.
Jordan, I know you got any number of guys that could be your leading receiver on any given day or week or whatever, but what does Jayden Reed, what dynamic does he bring to you guys?
Yeah, he does a lot. I mean, just the explosive playmaker he is. You know, he's the guy that can win inside in the slot position for us, and does a lot of really good things. And obviously, you see what happens when he gets the ball in his hands, and then, you know, just the progression he's made throughout the season last year, since when he got here, and then obviously now he's making even more strides. So he's a phenomenal player, and obviously, you know, I think he's going to have even a bigger role this year.
Y'all have so much receiving depth. Is it important to have a number one guy, a go-to guy, or does that, how much of a difference does that make to have that one guy who kind of sets himself apart from the rest of the receivers?
Yeah, no, I think like you said, I mean, we have a lot of depth at that receiver position, which I think is a really good thing. I think it's a good problem to have, and I think there's, you know, you don't have to have a number one receiver. I think it works out well when you can spread the ball out, and you got different guys making different plays, and you can put them in different areas. I think it puts a lot more stress on the defense, and you know, the calls that they can get in. So I think in the long run it helps us in not having a number one guy, a true number one guy, but I think all those guys can step up and be the one, you know, any given day.
How has your relationship with Matt LaFleur kind of changed opposed to this time last year to now?
Yeah, I think me and Matt have a much better feel for each other. Obviously, you know, I've been here going on my 5th year, so I have a pretty good feel of the offense, and I've been able to learn more and more every year I've been here. So I have a better feel of what Matt's seeing and why he's calling plays, what he likes certain plays versus. So I think that relationship is just building. It's just getting better and better. But Matt's awesome. You know, everybody loves and respects Matt, and our relationship is, like I said, just continue to get better and better.
How different are the things you're doing in the offense now compared to a year ago? I mean, obviously, a year ago you're just trying to get everyone's names right? And now you have an offense coming into this offseason. How different is it?
Yeah, it's much different. I mean, you know, I think just from a standpoint of, like I said before, those young guys that were rookies last year that, you know, it's their first time hearing the calls and everything. Now we're at the level where we can change the plays in the line of scrimmage. They know the signals, so we can get to different plays if there's not a perfect concept called. So that's a huge plus and bonus where we can, you know, take those steps forward this year, and we're not all kind of on that basic level where we can expand in the offense. And, you know, I think everybody's just making those improvements. But it feels better. I'm seeing the game pretty well right now, and like I said, going on my 5th year in this same system, I have a much better feel for what I had, last year, and it's just continuing to get better and better. But yeah, I think just being able to like go out there in 2 minutes and be able to change plays and everyone's being on the same page is a huge bonus.
Nationally, I think the narrative about Jordan Love is still a young quarterback, but as you said, this is your 5th year. Do you feel like, you hear this narrative and you just kind of laugh at it because you are a veteran. You have been here for a while.
Yeah, I've been here a while, but obviously at the same time, last year was my first year as a starting quarterback, getting those in-game reps. So, yeah, I understand it 100%. This is only my 2nd year going to the starter, so, like I said, I've been here for a while, but at the same time, I'm still learning new stuff every day. There's so much more for me to learn and improve my game. So, I'm just taking it step by step, but I don't, listen to outside noise, things like that. But, yeah, I mean, I've been here. So, especially with a young team, I feel like more of the vet. So.
Jordan, those reps that the advancement you're taking with these guys, is that all about reps, or is there things you've done in the offseason that's helped progress that and move that along?
It's all about reps. For them, just having a feel of what the defense is looking like and how they need to get to a route, how they should attack a DB. For me, seeing the coverage, knowing where to go with the ball. I mean, it's all reps, and every rep you learn, every rep you grow and get better as a player, and you get to go back and watch the film and just really break it down and learn and figure out things you're going to do better next time that play's called. So, I think reps is the most important thing.
Jordan, you threw a bunch of passes to Luke last year, and you threw a bunch to Tucker, but not all at the same time, obviously, because of their injuries and whatnot. What benefit would that be to the offense when get both those guys out there this year?
It'd be huge. Anytime you can have all your weapons out there, I think it's just going to be better for you. Be able to rotate those guys in. When one needs a breather, you can get another guy in there. And now it's going to be even better because, like I said, both of them played a good amount last year, got a good amount of reps. So, they're going to be taking a huge step as well. But, having all the weapons we got out there is huge.
Okay, that's a matchup problem, so isn't it, for defense to go up against those guys?
I think so.
Coming off the year that Melton had, towards the end especially, what have you noticed him in OTAs? Is there even a little extra confidence or juice that he has that now that he's shown it on the field what he can do?
Definitely. I mean, I think anytime you can go out there and prove who you are as a player, I mean, it helps you. It helps you get that confidence going. But Bo is the same guy every day. You know what you're going to get. Bo came in and he definitely wasn't a starter last year, but he worked every day. You see him on scout team making plays and getting a touchdown, celebrating, and he's gonna treat it like a game. And he comes in, works, and that's why it was no surprise when his number was called and he goes out there and makes plays. And you see he's continued to do that this year. But you know what you're gonna get. He's a consistent guy, and he goes out there and works and tries to find ways to get better. So.
Do you feel like you have a role in building their confidence, Eddie, and all these young receivers, or is that more of a coach's thing, or how does that fit in for you?
No, definitely. I mean, that's my job, and that's what I like to do. As my leadership style is to always try and give guys confidence and feed that confidence in themselves, and whether that's just getting them the ball or if it's not a good throw, tell them that's my bad, but the route was perfect. Just little things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys have that confidence in themselves, so just being able to go out there and make plays helps build that in them.
Jordan, when you look at the depth at receiver, do you see it as like each one of these guys sort of maybe brings something a little special that the other guys don't, or do you look at it as any one of these guys can step into any spot and do what I need him to do? Like, so what's your vision? What's your perception?
No, I definitely think you can plug any of these guys at any position, and they'll go out there and make plays. And I think a little of that was proven last year. I mean, we had different guys injured throughout the season, and guys had to move around a little bit, play some different spots that they might not have been used to. So I definitely think that is the case. But, I mean, you look at these guys and their skill sets. There's definitely – each person has their own kind of skill set and what they do great. So, I mean, just trying to find – that's the key, is trying to find that, put them in the best position to be successful. But, I definitely believe all these guys can step into any position, run any route, and make a play.
I'm sure you've had true number ones like in past stops in your career, and I'm sure Aaron would say like he locked into Devontae some plays even when maybe the play call didn't call for it, and people can understand why. Does this allow you just to forget about that and just do what's called and not, look for a guy who might be a need to have it guy?
Definitely. I think that's one thing that I've always tried to do, is just play the play. Play the play, go through my reads, and find who's open. Don't try and force it, because I feel like once you try and lock in a guy and force it, not great things happen, and then you might miss somebody that might be open on the play. So just trying to play the play out, stay true to it, read it out, find the open guy. But I think these guys all understand that's what I'm trying to do. I'm never trying to force it to one guy in particular. But, you know, play dependent. If there's a certain guy I might want to look at matchup-wise, things like that, I'll go to him. But, yeah, I just like to play it out.
Jordan, on the flip side, though, is there a guy on this team that, you know, a year or two from now we see as a 95-catch guy? I mean, is that possible that somebody could, you know, end up being that guy?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
What have you seen from Marshawn Lloyd? Steno was telling us that, you know, when AJ came in, he didn't really play as the number 3 behind Aaron and Jamal, but he said you're going to have to find ways to get Marshawn on the field. What have you just seen from him early on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough right now, just with practice, what we're doing, with no pads, things like that, not live, but you could see just how, you know, instinctual he is, his cuts, things like that, and, you know, he's like a little rocket back there. You know, he's got a lot of speed, and I think when we get live, he's going to be a hard guy to tackle and bring down, and, you know, there's definitely going to be room for him to get in that lineup and make plays, but it's obviously he's got to compete for that role and things like that. But I'm definitely excited to see what he can do once we start getting live.
Wicks and Reed spent the offseason together. What have you seen from those guys here during the OTAs?
Yeah, I mean, for them, like I said before, it's night and day. This time last year when they just got here, they're still trying to learn the playbook and just a lot of not knowing exactly how to run a route, where they should be, just a lot of overthinking. And now you see them out there and they just know exactly where they need to be. They're playing really fast right now. They're making plays. And I think that's the biggest thing is just knowing where you need to be and getting there. Having a plan for, you know, how to attack the DB and win on the route. And they're just making plays. So it's very fun to see. And those are two guys that, you know, made a lot of big-time plays for us last year. And, you know, I think the sky's the limit for them.
Did you gotten together with any guys for side sessions and throwing sessions, or is that something that you wait until after the camp?
No, we have. So obviously I train a good amount with Romeo because we're in California together. We actually train with the same guy. So me and Rome get a good amount of work in, and then you know, Wicks and Jay Reed both came out and got some work in with us. So it just depends on guys' schedule and if they can make it out, things like that. But anytime they want to get out, it's awesome to see them get out there. So
are those sessions, now that you have a full season of sample size and working together under your belt, are they different than they were a year ago? Are they the exact same?
No, I mean, they're pretty similar. I mean, we go out there, we work different routes and things like that, which is all on air. But like I said before, I mean, these guys, they know, they have a better feel of how to run routes and things like that. So I think for them it helps. But they're pretty basic, you know, throwing sessions, I would say. It helps to get that chemistry down and get throwing and, you know, see guys making plays when we're not here.
That's awesome. Two more for Jordan.
Tom Clements was saying a couple weeks ago that one thing you did a lot better as the season went on was when you scramble, not just take off and run, like keep your eyes up and look for a play downfield. Was that something you had to teach yourself to do? And what's the key to kind of trying to keep the play alive instead of just taking off?
Yeah, I mean, that's always the test because I am, you know, I feel like I'm a playmaker where when a play does break down, I always want to try and make that play and feel like I can and I have that ability. But just finding that thin line of when to, you know, take off and run and when to keep your eyes down. But I definitely, my play style, I like to keep my eyes down and try and get the ball in my hands and get it to those guys because I think there's some bigger plays downfield. You know, I'm not the fastest guy, so I'm not about to run for an 80-yard touchdown or anything, but I think there's a lot more bigger plays out there that happens. But I mean, I think that's just playing position, getting more reps, getting a better feel for it. But there's so many different things I learned throughout last season, like just instances where a play might get off and instead of hanging away and just trying to find that check down and get those positive plays and just keep moving and not taking steps backwards. So that's, like you said, your question, my biggest thing is I always try to make those plays and get it out of my hands to the playmakers.
Knowing what you know so far, and this is your 5th year, how special is this team so far for you right now?
Very special. You know, the bond that I think last year we started off and we came a lot closer just through the adversity we went on in that season and making a run at the end there. But coming into OTAs, you know, there's been so much energy in the building and, you know, since I've been here, I feel like this is the closest the team's been. And it's very awesome to see, and guys are going out there and competing. And like we talked about before, just having everybody here right now at this time is very cool because you just build those relationships and get closer with guys and get to go out there and work and compete with them every day. So I think this team's in an awesome spot right now.
So Jordan, what does last year do for you? Because on the one side, we keep hearing Matt talk about it doesn't mean anything now, right? It's a new season. But at the same time, there's lessons you learn as a player. There's connectivity that's increased. So how do you utilize last year in a constructive way to make this year an even better?
Yeah, I think just what you said. You know, last year I like to learn from every rep. I feel every rep is a learning experience, whether it's good or bad. So, you know, getting my first chance to play a whole season, there's so much stuff to learn from and grow from, and I feel like we talked about earlier, just as many reps as you can get is going to make you better, just because you're able to learn and you see different looks, you see different things the defense is doing and what they want to do to try and take advantage of what you're doing on offense. So, you know, I think, like I said, the good and the bad, there's so much stuff to learn from, and like we say, it's over, but I mean, you still got to look back at that tape and be able to learn and grow and watch it with a positive mindset of trying to get better, not just trying to look at like highlights and things like that. So there's definitely a lot of reps out there to learn from.
Well, do you guys think you're just looking at your locker room, the guys, the talent here? Do you think you got? Is it too early to say we might have something special going here?
Man, I just know that we have a team that loves each other. We're all here, we're all grinding, all working hard, and you can tell as soon as you walk in the locker room, we just play games together, just chill together, play basketball, anything. And so when we go out on the field, the same thing. We all work hard. So we love the vibe, we love the energy that we bring into the team right now for Spur.
Coach talked about loving your story of persistence, and can you just talk about what you've done to get to this point?
Yeah, it's all about hard work, keeping God first. That's what I did my whole life. That's how I was raised. So, just being cut, being on practice squad, just kept doing the journey, kept pushing along. I just wanted to be ready when my time came, and when it came last year, I just wanted to perform, and so just going in this offseason, just trying to take that same mindset.
Having that big game at Minnesota last year too, I mean, I feel like we've talked about that a lot, but how big of a confidence booster was that for you? I know I can do this, but now we've seen that I can do this.
Yeah, it was definitely a great game. Built my confidence for sure. It's more so the guys around me that encouraged me during the whole game. So definitely a confidence booster, but just happy to perform at that level.
How dangerous is this offense when there's not necessarily a number one wide receiver for defenses to key on?
Yeah, it's a lot of guys that can make plays. We got a great staff that can draw the best plays up. So, when you have a lot of guys that do different things, speed, route runners, and physical guys, it could be dangerous for sure.
So how different was this offseason for you just because of what you were able to do this last season?
It was definitely, just trying to build, on a great offseason, get bigger, get stronger, faster, all them things, and just get myself more involved with the playbook, just growing. Just a lot of our guys here, 2 and 3 in the room, just growing in the playbook, and so a lot of us is just grinding and growing in the playbook for sure.
Your brother got drafted, correct?
Yeah.
What did that mean for the Melton family that you guys are both in the league?
That meant everything. I went back home. I was extremely happy. We was right there for sure, but I seen him. He went to an official visit to Arizona, and so when I seen 1 o'clock, I'm like, man, they're gonna call him, and they called him. Our fan was crying. They was excited, and I'm really excited to see him. We played in week 6, so definitely excited to see him there too.
How soon did you know that you guys actually do have him on the schedule? Did you realize that right away?
Yeah, I knew we played them this year, but I was just looking forward to when we was going to play them. And when I saw week 6, I'm like, all right, it's going to be good. Ain't no more backyard no more. It's big stage. He's going to be ready for it, and I'm definitely going to be ready for sure.
Do you train with him too in the offseason, or how do you guys?
Yeah, usually we do train together. It's going to be different now, but mostly every offseason we have rookies together, so we did train together every offseason. Push each other, so it's going to be different seeing him on the other side, but it's going to be fun for sure.
What was your advice to him, just when he got drafted and you obviously having been in the league? What do you just tell him? Because he's looking at you, obviously.
Yeah, he saw how my first 2 years were, and he knows that you just got to grind for what you want, and no matter where you're picked at, he knows that, and he's an exceptional athlete, and he knows that he's a hard worker as well. He's going to put his head down, go to work. So I'm just telling him to be ready for anything that comes his way. And he's asked me, how I'll handle it. I always tell him put God first and let everything else handle yourself. So he'll be good.
Besides in training, have you ever lined up across from each other?
In practice, yeah, definitely lined up at Rutgers a lot in practice. He's competitive, man. Every single time we went out there, one-on-ones, it was me and Max. He knew that nobody else would come up, me and Max every single time. When he was young, he was younger at the time. I used to get him all the time. He got me a couple times when he got a little older, but definitely definitely rating for week 6 for sure.
When you think back to when you guys were kids playing in the backyard, could you have imagined that you both would make the league?
Definitely, man. That was our goal for sure. We played Madden, NCAA, and created our players all the time, you know, and wanted to be in the league. You know, that was our goal. And we have mad videos of working out in the backyard, all that stuff, you know, just grinding. And to finally make it, you know, it's definitely a blessing. And we're happy to be here. I know he's happy to be here, and we're just going to keep working, for sure.
I know you guys have mini camp next week, and then obviously you'll come back for training camp. What do you kind of hope to achieve between that time before you guys do return for training camp?
Just come back ready to go. Just keep building, you know, on this great offseason that our team is having. You know, I just want to keep building myself with the players, just stay in the playbook and just, you know, come back ready to go, especially for training camp.
Today's National Cheese Day. What's your favorite cheese?
I don't have a favorite cheese for sure, but I do like American and pepper jack. But cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time. But I do eat them though. I can't count, but it do make my stomach hurt.
Danger they both crave when they put